Well, I'm back. Like you care, right? Hope everybody's doing well. Doing as well as can be expected for about 19 degrees in the shop today. So, anyhow, I figured I'd get on here and talk about a lot of people have problems with relationships. And I'm talking about marriage, boyfriend, girlfriend, but mainly marriage. Marriage is one of those things where you get into a cycle, and that's a cycle you kind of like stay in. It's like retiring. People are like, "Oh, I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna retire," and they go do what they want to do for I don't know 6, 8 months a year, and then all of a sudden well, retirement sucks. They're sitting around bored to death, looking at each other, going, "What do you want to do? Well, what do you want to do? Where do you want to eat today? Well, I don't know. You pick." It's that kind of stuff. Marriage is just like that. You get into a routine, and especially if you have children, and it gets a little more stressful. It gets pretty exciting sometimes. But I'm talking about just the husband, wife, or girlfriend, or boyfriend, or whatever. Just you two. Because that's what makes it work. Not so much the children, but there are a few things you need to do to make a relationship work. And one, you got to respect one another. And duh, men and women are different in a lot of ways. Similar in some ways, but different in a lot. Men like to convey information. Men get this like tunnel vision thing on. And they want to go do this. They do that. Then they go do this. They do that. Then they do this. They do that. And as they got their tunnel vision on, they may have the lawnmower ripped apart here, the car ripped apart here, the boat ripped apart here. Maybe a room or two in the house, because they get focused on this, and it's kind of like, well, then they get bored doing that, and they go back to doing this. So they got all these projects going on. Women, women are at the kitchen doing dishes, and you come in and, well, there's little Susie. Oh, she's doing this. Well, there's little Johnny. Oh, he's over doing that. She can tell you what everybody's doing. And they're multitasking. They're like a freaking computer, man. I mean, you can multitask, do all this stuff, and they can tell you. They're good at that. Why? Well, women use both sides of their brain. Men use half that. And that's why men and women are different. A big part of it. Because women will use both sides of their brain, men use half that. Just a fact of life. Now, I'm not saying one's better than the other. In a lot of instances, some's better, some than others in the right application. And that's why God designed us the way He did, for the application. But to build your relationship, you have to do certain things. And it's like when men work with other men, and I'm talking work, and they're fixing, trucks, tractors, cars, baling hay. It doesn't matter what you're doing. When they're working, they learn how each other work. They know the other person's weaknesses and strengths, and they know, well, you need this wrench. I mean, hell, they got the wrench and they hand it to the guy before he needs it because he knows. They work together. Men and women have to do the same thing. Now, see, I didn't speak on women on that because I don't know how women think. I mean, a lot of women, they try to help each other out and stuff and think out further because they're a lot more conscientious and uh, I don't want to say caring, but they're more giving in a lot of ways, and that protrudes out, 6 8 months a year ahead, because it's like, oh, so and so's having a baby and we need to, but well, that's not for 9 months. Yeah, but we need to get, blah 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 now, because so and so's going on a trip, and blah blah blah, and we need to, women think out like that. Men, what do I need right now? What do I need now? They might think a little bit out. It's like, well, I need to get some parts for the car, and I need this, this, and this. Okay, so I go buy it, and I'll fix it next week. Or, as they're doing it, I need it right now, and they go get it. Men don't think long term like that, and women do. But what I'm getting at is, I mean, when you're planning for retirement, that's a whole other deal. Both of you should be thinking the same way, long term. But that's different. You have to have the same goals, and that's basically where I'm going with this. You have to have the same goals. You have to have some of the same interests, and to promote those, you have to do things together. And there's a lot of women that like going camping, a lot of guys that don't like going camping, and vice versa. But it's one of those things, like, if you go, and just you two, not the kids and everything, just you two. You want to go camping. Okay. You're kind of relying on each other now. You're relying on to help put up a tent. Do you need help? Well, it depends on the tent. Sometimes, one person tent, and it's simple enough problem. You can put it up. Sometimes you don't even need a tent. And that's where it really starts to get a lot more fun, I feel. It's like somebody that's experienced and has been in the outdoors a lot. They're like, let's just go. What do we need? Small backpack, each of us. Okay. And you go. You build your shelter. You don't take the food along. You trap a couple things with a little snare or whatever, and maybe take a little miniature fishing pole or something that condenses down. Or you set up a trap line or a fishing line or whatever, trout line. It doesn't matter. But you see, then it becomes more fun, and you got to rely on each other a little bit more. And as you rely on each other, you realize you can actually trust this person. This person is there to help you and will help you because they have proven that. It's just like, going out, and some women like to shoot, some women don't, but some women's like they've never shot anything. And men, if you haven't either, don't act like you know everything. When it comes to firearms, you need the safety rules. I mean, read them, practice them, go over them in your head, sit there with your wife or girlfriend and go over this stuff. Practice it. It's important. That's why they have them. So you don't. Accidents still can happen, but by God, that's what you're trying to prevent. And men, don't do the stupid things like these morons on YouTube do. I mean, I've always taught people, especially women, young children, with a 22. Single action, single shot, 22. Iron sights. Teach them the basics. Let them get used to it, because you don't want to put them behind something that's got a lot of kick, because all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, I don't like this, and you just ruined them. They don't want to do it anymore because, man, they're going to associate everything to that son of a bitch going to kick like a mule. Don't do that, and keep it simple, single shot. Doesn't matter if it's a rifle, and if it's an autoloader. My philosophy on autoloader is real simple. That's for a more advanced shooter. Everybody's got to have an autoloader. They don't know anything about it to speak of, but by God, everybody wants one because they see it in the damn movies. You want to teach people with a keep it simple, stupid, and advance. Nothing wrong with a good revolver. Some of those revolvers, you know yourself, will kick can kick pretty damn good, but you don't want to hand it to them right away. You want something to go, oh, that's not bad. Step up to maybe just a simple 38. Well, that's not bad. Well, then you start getting to your magnums and things like that, and blah blah blah, and then it's like, well, now we're starting to kick, and you don't want that. You don't want to scare them off right away. But I digress. You go out and you teach them. You work together, and then all of a sudden, they enjoy doing stuff like that. So you and her can go out and do these things together. And when you're instructing women, don't get upset. Don't get pissy with them. Don't look at them and say you're stupid. Don't pull any of that crap at all. Treat them with respect. They're a novice. They don't understand. Explain it to them. Take your time. Don't want my cigar to go out, but I think it's going to. But you understand what I'm saying. And the same thing with women. There's things that women want to do that men are like, man, I know some women that want to go because like weddings and receptions and certain things. They want to learn to, quote, dance because they just don't like to get out there and just kind of like sway around. They want to actually do something. And the guy's like, man, he's embarrassed. He doesn't want to do this stuff. He's got 2 left feet, blah, blah, blah. And he doesn't really want to do it. But you ask him. And he's like, man, it's like, explain to him why you want to do it. Don't get nasty about it with him. And just tell him, say, I don't need an answer right now. Just think about it. Give it 3 or 4 days a week. Think about it. Let me know. If you'll do it with me. And a guy may get there and agree to it, and he may get there and find out, well, it's not so bad. Or he may get there and go, man, I feel like an idiot here. I just feel out of place. I just don't. But you got to remember, most other guys there feel out of place too. So you're all kind of like in the same boat. But don't put it down. Don't tell her she's stupid. Don't put her down because it's something that she is looking forward to. She wants to do, wants to learn. You got to work together as a team. You can't insult one another. You can't fly off the handle at one another. There's days you're going to come home and she's had a bad day because of whatever. And you got to kind of like, okay, don't pick at her. Let her get over it. Women like to talk. Women will come to you and talk when they're ready. You give it a day or two, and all of a sudden you're like, "What are you talking about?" Oh, 3, 4 days ago. Oh, okay, okay. I now know where we're at. Okay, we're talking about something that happened then. All right. Here I'm thinking, it just happened or something. It's like no, because that's how women are. A lot of times they just don't. Men usually don't hold it in. It comes out right now. And then it comes out and it's usually over. They get pissed and it's like, and then all of a sudden, like, okay, I feel better now. And then and it's like it's kind of forgotten. But if you do it at your wife or your girlfriend, they ain't gonna let you forget it. A week later, they may still throw it in your face. A month later, 2 months. A year later, you may still get thrown in your face what you did It's like, don't do it. Especially when it comes to her. You're better off just biting your tongue, walking away. And she's like, "What's wrong?" It's like, "Nothing, honey. It's fine, you know." And you're just wanting to explode inside. Yeah, you gotta. You can't build walls, is what I'm saying. You got to work things out. You got to find things that neither one of you may be any good at, but you're like, I thought about that too. I thought about, what if we did this or what if we did? I kind of like to learn how to do that. It'd be kind of fun, I think. And she'd be like, well, yeah, you want to do that? And then she or you check into it and you go do it and you find out if you like it. And if you do, great. You got something else you can go and do. And that's always fun. Some people like to cook. Not so much anymore, but when that Food Channel crap was all big and whatever. Yeah. And you get two of you in the kitchen together, and by God, you do things together, and you just don't walk away and leave the dishes for her to do. It's like, no, you can help her with them. And if you don't like doing dishes, by God, go buy a dishwasher. You know, make her life a little easier. She might appreciate that too. And don't be a schmuck. And what I mean by a schmuck is, I knew a guy, him and her were saving for a house. Son of a bitch goes out and takes the money out and goes and buys a truck. She was ready to kill him. And I don't blame her. She's got her heart set on a house. They've been saving. And what's he do? Goes out and buys a truck. Dude, you're a schmuck, is what you are. I mean, I don't care. I'm a guy, and you're an idiot. You don't do. I mean, you crushed her. Man, she should have dumped your ass right then and there. Should have went and got your house and settled for a much lesser truck. If you absolutely had to have a truck, buy one that's, I don't know, several years old. So it may have some rust on it, as long as it runs well. Or it needs a little work, you can at least fix it up maybe and get by for a while longer. Save up, save up a little bit. But man, you don't do that. You just don't do that. And women, you got to remember, I know you like shoes and purses, but, can I buy that Coach purse? Well, how much is it? Well, it's on sale for $500. It's like, a purse? Shit, I'll go out here and I'll shoot a goddamn cow and I'll skin the fucker for you and make you a purse. How about a pair of shoes? Do you have a pair of shoes too? Well, I'm at it. It's like, holy crap. If you want something like that, why don't you two find a hobby? Like, hey, I brought up shooting. It'd be like, hey, hon, if you want to spend that kind of money on a purse, it's like that's to me that's crazy. I mean, $100 maybe. I don't know what purses go for, but I mean, still $100 for a purse, I think's a lot. But maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't buy purses for myself. But that's why you look at them and go, how about we do this? You like shooting, right? You like going hunting, right? Okay. Why don't we pick out us a shotgun? Why don't we just go buy a new shotgun? And she might think about things. Well, I do like going hunting. I do like shooting and stuff. Do shooting some trap or whatever, skeet, whatever. And she'd be like, yeah, that sounds good. I'd rather spend the money doing that anyway. Okay. And then you take her out, and then when you go out hunting, you say, here, you take the new shotgun, I'll take the old one. And she's all happy. She got a new shotgun. and the money went to something I believe that will hold its value and is useful instead of something that's like, I don't know, you carry a bunch of junk in it. I mean, okay. But you see, that's how I think as a guy. I'd rather buy her a shotgun than a stupid purse. And I say stupid. A lot of people will be like, man, purses aren't stupid. They're cool. They're great. I was like, okay, I get it, I get it. That's how women think. There's nothing wrong with that. But you understand what I'm saying. You know, you just can't go through life being one sided and selfish. You get married to someone for the long haul, and and with guys, you got to remember. Oh, I'm gonna go out with the guys. Well, where are you going? You going to go to the tavern? You gonna go to a bar where you can take, I don't know, you'll blow $100 pretty easy. Probably buy your buddy some drinks and this and that stuff. I mean, come on, really? You're just pissing money away, guys. Oh, but we're going out to guys' night. Fuck guys' night. You got a buddy that's got a man cave? Go over there. If you're all just sitting in the garage having a few beers, better yet. You know, it doesn't matter. You're not in some damn bar overpaying for everything. Listen to some loudmouths, half drunk or drunk, being an ass that you want to just lay him flat on his back. And women dressed in, I don't even know if they should be dressed for what they wear. You're better off just going to your buddy's house, sitting in the garage. Invite 4 or 5 of your buddies over that you like, you get along with. Great. Don't invite that guy over that he just likes to see how much he can drink, and he's out there throwing up in the backyard, and staggering around and being just a nuisance. It's like, don't invite that guy. And maybe you ask the wife, say, hey, you want to go along? Oh, it's a guys' night thing. Yeah, hey, Carol will be there. Oh, well, yeah, maybe I will go. Okay. Yeah, maybe you and her go in the house. Maybe you want to sit out here with us and listen to our stupid shenanigans and crap. You make fun of me later. Yeah, plus two. You know, it's nothing wrong with teasing one another, but being nice about it. Kiddingly about it, affectionately. It helps build your relationship. You're not so. You're not so. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, better word than like trying to be macho about everything. You can take it. You can take the joke. You can be teased. You can be razzed, and you're okay with it. Instead of somebody that's like, yeah, so you get on the defensive about it. Really? Come on. And it's important, even if you don't go to church, just sit down and at least read a few pages out of the Bible. It's important to pray together and build your relationship with God. See, that's where a lot of things go wrong in a marriage and in relationships, is they're not communicating with God as a union. When you get married, there ain't you and there ain't her, it's us. And you have to treat everything as us. I don't know what the hell that dog's doing over there. But it's us. You got to look and see what's best for us. You got to build that relationship with us. and God has to be part of that relationship. You should always thank God. That you should thank God as a team. You might be surprised how far that takes you. All of a sudden, it changes your heart. It changes your outlook, your soul. It makes a huge difference, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. I haven't told you anything different than you don't already know. I probably should have started with this because 7, 8 minutes into the video, I get clicked off because I'm long winded. I don't get to the point right away. I don't know. But it's funny. But God's all for marriage. That's why He created woman. So you guys out there wouldn't be alone. That you'd have someone to confide in. And women, don't make fun of your don't make fun of him. Don't put him down. That goes for you guys too, because that's the fastest way to destroy a relationship. Why should I trust her? Why should I confide in her? Why should I confide in him? All he does is make fun of me, or he doesn't trust me, or he thinks I'm a joke. He doesn't. It goes on in the resentment that it makes and builds. Don't go you know, don't start that stuff like a 2-year-old, like a little child does. Don't start that. Don't. Yeah. Don't do that. Be honest with yourself. If you're that kind of person, that's not because of them. That's because of you. That's because of your personality. You need to work on yourself and your personality. Maybe you weren't ready for a relationship yet. Maybe you're still too immature. Men don't mature until they're probably mid-30s. That's when men actually start growing up. So women, if your husband ain't in his mid-30s yet, he's still a little boy. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Some aren't, but some are. Yeah, you got done. Yeah, what do you got all over you? Man, you've been over there digging around, haven't you? Yeah, chasing things. Yeah, I know. Yeah. He was all full of stuff. Wipe him off here. Get some of this off of him. Why? So, anyways, I've talked enough. He probably wants to go outside and run around a little bit. So, y'all take care. Just think about it. Relationships are hard. You build them, and you can destroy them real fast.